Gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to be talking about the Dynamoto motorcycle paddock stands. These bad boys here are the absolute pinnacle, the absolute top of motorcycle paddock stands. They don't get any better than this. Build quality is insane. The innovation is insane. I can't wait to show you guys what Dynamoto have to offer. Now, before we get into the video, I'm going to explain to you guys how the Dynamoto stands address all of the issues with paddock stands I've had in the past. There's a little bit of assembly required. It's not too much. All you need to do is attach the wheels onto the paddock stands. Pretty simple process. Just slide them on and then you attach this little cap and then throw in the tiny little split pin. You do that for all three wheels, and then they've got an amazing little leaf spring system to hold the tines or the forks, whatever you want to call them, that slip over onto the bobbins on your motorcycle swing arm. Now this is pretty cool innovation. I like that it's toolless. Like I said, I'm going to mention why these paddock stands address all of the issues that I've had with past paddock stands. I'm actually going to show you some examples. I've got some old paddock stands sitting over in the corner there. I'll bring those out in a second and we'll show you guys what's going on and why I have issues with them. But just the adjustability of these things is absolutely phenomenal. Now guys, if you haven't heard of Dynamoto, these guys are based in Brisbane, Australia, 100% Australian made, Australian owned. They are built Aussie tough, super tough powder coated steel frames. They're heavy duty. We've also got stainless steel tines and a stainless steel handle over here. 10-year warranty. I've had a close look at the welds on this thing. The welds are impeccable. I'll chuck some close-ups actually over in the corner there. And the innovation, it's crazy. They've just done little things, little tiny things to make things easier, like the leaf spring system to adjust the width of the tines. Even chucking a sleeve into the pipe so that the cotter pin slips all the way through without veering off to the side and getting caught. Makes it super easy to get that thing plugged in and out when you need to move it around. But the real MVP of these stands, I want to say the MVP is the build quality, but the real MVP is the wheels that Dynamoto have put on these bad boys. These wheels here, have a close look. They are super big. Look at the size of these bad boys compared to my hand. Super big. They never get caught up on any little tiny rocks or anything that you might have in the garage. But also, these bad boys have rollers. Each one of these little gray things here, these are rollers on the wheels. So not only do the wheels roll forwards and backwards, but the wheels also roll sideways, almost effortlessly. Check this out. Look at that. How crazy is this? Have you guys ever seen anything like this? I haven't seen anything like this before. This thing is slippery as. Anyway, this is where the real innovation comes into the Dynamoto stands. These bad boys here are for the guy that has a nice motorcycle and he wants to store it in the garage, doesn't want to store it out on the street, but doesn't have much garage space. Chuck your bike on these stands and you're able to move your bike sideways, forward, backwards, turn it around in circles, do whatever you want. You're able to push the bike almost effortlessly on these super low friction rollers and move the bike into tiny corners of the garage. I'll show you guys some examples a little bit later on in the video. And also I might actually get Mrs. Nickelodeon in here and I'll get her to push her bike around to show you guys how easy and effortlessly this system actually works. But check this out, guys. Look at this thing. The wheels spin sideways, forwards and backwards, sideways, round in circles. I can't believe it. Absolutely insane. I heard about these guys a couple of years ago and I wanted to hold off and just find out what other people were saying about it. I've only ever heard great things about this company from all of the boys over on the forums and also from my comment section. I posted this on my Instagram and on my Facebook, and there are a couple of guys over there that have these stands already and absolutely love them. So I want to show you guys how these work, but firstly I want to show you guys the stands that I've used in the past, the issues that I've had with them, and how the Dynamoto stands address all of those issues. Okay, gents, let's get into it. So we've got some stands here. These are the stands that I've used over the past couple of years, couple of decades, couple of centuries, whatever. This here was the very first paddock stand that I ever bought. This thing's probably about 20, 25 years old. Bought it from MCAS. I've always hated this thing. Check this out. It is rickety as hell. I've got to stand on this thing, but check this out. All right. Moves around. I've lost the little knob on here to adjust it. The knob on this side, I keep adjusting this and it keeps coming loose, so these things slide in and out. It's just a pain in the butt. This thing's old, tired, worn out. When the bike is on this stand, it is super shaky. It's super unstable. I'll cut in some footage right now just showing you how crap this thing is. But this thing here, this is a definite no, don't use this anymore. Don't want to risk my bike on that bad boy. This one here, my girlfriend actually got from her boss. Funnily enough, he actually upgraded to some Dynamoto stands and got rid of this paddock stand. This bad boy here is built pretty much the same as the last paddock stand. It was pretty rickety. Tried to get it to not shake so much, but the issue with this thing is is that when the bike is on this thing, it doesn't tip back far enough, so it's not actually as locked in as I would like it to be. And I'm worried that if I leave my bike on this stand, if someone bumps the bike from the back, the bike is just going to roll forward and this stand is going to flick out from underneath the tire and the bike's going to come crashing down on the ground. But the Dynamoto stand has two different levels that you can adjust the height of the motorcycle to, and it also tips way past the 0 degree point, so it really locks the motorcycle in. But you've also got different heights that you're able to select. You've got a low height, which is what it's currently at the moment, and then you can flip these bad boys around and you've got a high height if you want to lift the bike up higher and have a high lift. But also there's a safety mechanism built into these stands that you don't have on the other 3 stands that I've been using over the past couple of decades. You're able to unhook this handle over here and move it over to the front of the stand, chuck the cotter pin into it, and that locks the stand in place so that when you're moving the bike around, you don't have to worry about the stand flicking out from underneath the back of the bike and dropping your pride and joy in the garage. Like I said, crazy innovation that the guys over at Dynamoto up in Brisbane have been putting into these motorcycle stands. I've never seen anything like this. And the third one, which is the one that I've been using the most over the past couple of years, is this one here. So I've been using this one for a while now. This one here is also I guess it's like a dolly sort of setup with the little caster wheels down there, and then you chuck the bike up on this thing and then you're able to move it around. Now straight away we've got some major issues with this thing. It is not heavy duty built, so it is rickety when the bike is on there. If you sway the bike sideways, you can see this thing flexing a fair amount. And also it is cursed with these, excuse my French, it is cursed with these crappy caster wheels. Let me flip this thing over and show you guys exactly what we're working with. So this caster wheel here constantly comes loose, rickety AF. The rubber on the wheel is worn out, so this is on its last legs. Same with these bad boys. These things are loose as. Every time I tighten them up, they keep on coming loose. Constant maintenance on this thing just to keep it going the way it should. And even then, it's just crap. I really am rolling the dice every time I use this thing. Caster wheels just seem to be cursed. Here's my little garage creeper seat that I use. Again, we've got rickety tiny little casters on there. Anytime I want to scoot around in the garage, I want to go in a certain direction, I'll try and head in that direction and this thing will veer off to the side or go in some other crazy direction. Caster wheels are great for light loads, but as soon as you start dumping the kilos on top of something like this or something like that, i.e. 215 kilos of motorcycle, you start to really run into some issues. So again, Dynamoto have addressed that issue with these super huge wheels, super smooth rolling resistance over the garage floor, and multi-directional in an instant. If you want to change direction with the Dynamoto paddock stands, you can do it instantaneously without trying to get all of these caster wheels to line up and go the same direction and get them to spin in unison, and then you might be going one way and this caster wheel is spun the other way, and then all of a sudden it will spin and it will jerk this thing around. Major issues with this thing over the past couple of years. So again, Dynamoto have addressed pretty much all of my concerns that I've had for motorcycle paddock stands. Without any further hesitation or delay, I want to chuck the bike on these bad boys, spin it around the garage and show you how they actually work. Alright guys, let's do a demo of the Dynamoto stands. Excuse the bike, I'm doing a little bit of work and also adding the the brand new Flip and Dip number plate flipper from flipandip.plates on Instagram. Thanks to Homeboy for sending this out. This is the MT10 motorcycle specific plate, and they do these for a whole bunch of different models and makes of motorcycles, but just makes it so much easier when I'm filming and when I'm taking photos and stuff like that. Separate video, I'll link that down in the description below if you want to check them out. But let's say you just got home from a ride, it's Sunday, you've got work tomorrow, you're not going to be riding for the rest of the week, you want to put your bike away until next weekend. I use mine every day and I still move my motorcycles off into the corner of the garage so Mrs. Nickelodeon can get her car in here every day. So I'm going to chuck the camera in my mouth while I do this, so I'll get onto the microphone and narrate the rest of this. Hey guys, narration Adrian here. So just set up the stand behind the bike, hook it onto the, what are those things called? The pickup knobs, pickup bobbins. Pretty easy. Leverage the stand down and then pull out the cotter pin for the handle, move it over to the front of the stand, and this will stop the stand from tipping forward, dropping your bike. There's how it works, pretty cool. Now the front stand's pretty interesting. Just chuck the front stand under the wheel and roll the bike forward. You can either grab the front tire or you could roll the bike forward with the handlebars, and then you just leverage it down. It's actually pretty easy. And that's it, Bob's your uncle. Then you can start moving the bike around the garage. Pretty cool. This is a horrible shot of the GoPro and my arm, so let's switch over to the 360 camera in about 30 seconds time. So that's it, guys. I've just moved the motorcycle right into the corner of the garage. I'm pretty sure narration Adrian was talking about this tiny little piece of engineering right here to stop the paddock stand from flipping out from underneath the motorcycle while you're moving it, which is an issue that I had with this bad boy right here when moving the motorcycle around in the garage. It's just not, it just doesn't have that fail safe on it. And you've got 15, 16, 17, $18,000 worth of motorcycle relying on a stand to not flip out underneath the bike when you're moving it around. So again, guys, the innovation that's coming out of Dynamoto from Brisbane is absolutely incredible. But yeah, effortlessly was able to move the bike around. As you can see, the front wheel moved nice and smoothly. The back of the bike moved nice and smoothly. I can move it in and out, sideways, forwards, backwards. I can spin it around in circles. It is actually quite incredible. They make these in two different colors from what I understand. They make these orange ones and they also make them in black. I'm all about the orange powder coating on my crash cage, so I don't mind the look of the orange in the garage. And also it just stops your wife or your partner from running them over if you leave them in the middle of the garage if she's driving in and out all the time. It just helps them be seen a little bit more. But yeah, this is crazy, man. Let me chuck the camera back in my mouth and we'll move this thing around a little bit more. Incredible. Oh my God, look at that. Look how effortlessly it slides over that. This lip ain't no joke, guys. This is about 1.5 centimeters of a lip. That is crazy. I could never do that with my old paddock stand because of the tiny wheels it had on it. And now also because I've removed the handle from the back, I can confidently close the garage and save that extra little bit of space at the back of the stand. That's crazy. Wowee. All right, so guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. I've cut in a whole bunch of extra information into this video, showing you some side-by-sides using the crappy stands that I've been using for the past couple of decades, and also showing you the Dynamoto stands and how they address all of the issues that those old stands have. Next video, we're gonna get Mrs. Nickelodeon on camera. I'm gonna get her to chuck her bike up on the stands. We've got something else that Dynamoto have made as an accessory with these stands. This here is for the guy that's a little bit nervous about putting his bike on a paddock stand. This is sort of like a safety mechanism. What it does is it attaches to the other side of the bobbin on this side here to line everything up so that when you pick the paddock stand up, the bike doesn't over rotate and fall off onto the right hand side. We'll chuck this on there. I'll get Mrs. Nickelodeon to move her bike around, and we'll see if a girl can move her bike around using the Dynamoto stands. By the time you watch this video, Mrs. Nickelodeon's Dynamoto stand moving her bike around the garage will already be done, so I'll link that down in the description below if you want to see her using these stands. Hey Gary, thanks for coming to visit, boy. Speaking of visits, if you want to visit the Dynamoto website, I'll chuck the website down in the description below. Check out their range of stands. They make a stand for pretty much every single motorcycle out there, even for single swing arms motorcycles that don't have the pickup bobbins. I'm sure you guys will find all the information you guys need on there. But anyway, thanks for watching, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this side-by-side comparison of the Dynamoto stands versus all of the other stands that I've used over the past couple of decades, and I hope it was informative and that you enjoyed the demonstration. But you want to say anything, Gary? You want to say anything to the camera, Gary? Hey, boy. Oh, he's getting mad. Hey, hey. Hey Gary. Hey Gary. Hey boy. All right, but yeah, thanks for watching, boys. See you guys in the next one.